All right, welcome to TNT. Little Game of Thrones recap. Not a full episode, but it's gonna get heated, so you're gonna want to fucking listen to this. Joined by Paulie Sirloins, new nickname. Sirloins, how you doing?
I'm good. How are you guys?
Doing good. Tones,
Fantastic.
good. A lot to get into here. So let's start off with the party we were just talking about. So, Tones, what do you got on this party that started off the episode here?
It was good to kind of finally see everyone actually like happy and smile for once. You know, everyone was so grim for like the last like 2 seasons, basically.
Yep.
You know, last season and a half or whatever. So it's just kind of good to see, you know, everyone kind of cutting loose a little bit. John was getting drunk.
They opened up with the funeral, burning of the bodies. A lot of bodies to burn.
A lot of bodies, yeah.
Bad start of the episode, just very grim, very dark. But the party afterwards, yeah, John was getting drunk, which is always great to see.
Yeah, Tormund was trying to get him to chug. He didn't want to do it. Tormund's beard was drinking more than he was.
Yes, he was.
He was just chugging.
And guess who got laid?
Sir Brienne.
WNBA night.
Yep.
I couldn't believe that Jamie was attracted to her this whole time.
I think it was more of an emotional connection. Than
That's what?
He wanted to make love to her brain.
Oh, yeah. I guess it's still hard to get over like grizzly bear, like clearly lesbian body. No offense, but that's is what it is. But I guess I'm happy for him.
Yeah, I mean, she's actually in real life. She's actually not bad looking at all. They just make her look awful for the show.
They make her look like a knight.
Yeah, well, they just put her in like bulky armor and they have like a shitty haircut. And she's always covered in dirt, but like she's actually kind of pretty in real life. I think she's actually a model.
Oh,
like she's tall. She's like kind of like not like skinny, but she's got like long legs and shit.
Okay,
but yeah, no, because in the books they describe her in the most awful ways. They always talk about how she has like a horse face and and like this awful hair and like giant teeth.
Yeah,
like just describe her in the most grotesque way possible. They had to make her ugly for the show.
Yeah.
But, yes, I mean Jamie sealed it. I mean, heartbreak for Tormund.
Yeah.
I was rooting for that. I was actually rooting. I don't know if I think I texted this to Sirloins after our group chat. I'm just like, episode 3, I want a cold open. Or episode 4, I want a cold open. Jamie Lannister, Tormund, Eiffel Tower, and Brienne. Like
that would be rough for her first time.
Yeah,
getting tag teamed by a fucking Lannister and a wildling, like captain of the wildlings. So he's back in the woods. Out of the. You think he's done? You think he's out of the show?
I don't see why he would come back.
Yeah, unless they're gonna play into the Night King showing back up at some point. I don't think there's any reason to show him again.
Yeah,
and Ghost. Actually, I don't think they're going to show him because they put Ghost with them, and I think they're way too cheap to bring Ghost back because that CGI budget just must be like.
I can't believe they got rid of Ghost.
And
the dog off to the woods.
You get rid of him, and you don't pet the fucking dog. You just I'm bye, dude.
And he didn't even say bye. He just like, all right, just go just take him. Just take him.
He like looked at him and then just let. And they show that scene where like Ghost, Tormund are like staring at like John and like he's leaving and they're at the gate looking at him. I'm like, you gotta be shitting me right now. I hated John.
You couldn't even give him a good boy, like a little pat on the head, like good boy, you did a good job. Like he ran into the army of the White Walkers and came back.
Yeah, poor little dog. You're sitting there bleeding, limping around,
missing an ear.
Oh
yeah, it's fucked up. He chose the dragon over his ghost, and look what happened.
Yeah, we know how that turned out. But I also want to say a shout out to Pod, who I don't know if you noticed, but ended up getting 2 chicks.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Hey, what would you do if you had $1 million, Tom?
What would I do with $1 million?
2 chicks at the same time. That's what I'd
do. Great call. Yeah. All right, so let's just do individual fucking what you thought about the episode. Paulie, did you watch it twice?
I watched it once.
Okay, so we watched it twice. All right, so why don't you go ahead because I heard you were heated, and I think there's good reason to be.
Okay, so I'm not after sleeping on. I'm not as pissed at this point. I've just given up on like expecting the writing to be what it used to be. And I think this episode was a lot of filler that we didn't need and slow scenes that we did need, right? I think the party was good. I think it went on a little too long. I don't think it needed to be
a great
there.
party.
Yeah,
It's about a half hour long. It was a little too long.
Yeah, everyone's just getting hammered. Everyone's just banging everyone. Like it's great, right? And then Danny's just being a bitch as usual, all upset.
Well, she was really nice to Gendry, by the way. How about her just giving him fucking what's it, Storm's End?
Storm's End, yep.
I googled it. Well, that's a nice castle. I
good real estate.
what the castles look like. That one's a very good one.
That was the Baratheon castle before. She gave it back, put it back in the family. But that wasn't just out of the goodness of her heart. She knew she's going to need allies down the line. So it was definitely, a little give and take. But smart.
Just good for him though.
Yeah, no, great for him.
That's a big deal.
Not so good for him. Got turned down.
That was oof.
It's like he basically like pulled that move where you propose at like half court at a basketball game and she like runs off.
She was like the real gentle, like listen,
like you're nice.
I like you're great and all. It can't happen. Yeah, that was tough to see. But Paulie, keep going.
Yeah, so the party went on for a little too long, but I think it kind of did what it needs to do, and then you had the scene with John and Danny where they're talking about the whole you're my aunt and all that shit, and they start making out. And I was like, yo, did you guys just forget that you're related? Like, you just figured this out and you guys are cool with it? And then they stop. And then she's I kind of get where she's coming from with the whole, like, don't tell anyone. Because she's right. She sees that everyone really likes John. Like, John's a leader that everyone can get behind. So if you're going to throw him as a Targaryen and then say he has a better claim, I think a lot of people would rather have him. So,
everybody would, I think. I think that's where the episode kind of ended up.
Especially everyone up there, up in the north, like those are his people.
Yeah, exactly.
Who do you think they'd rather back, him or this like foreign queen that just showed up like a week ago?
Exactly, and you already kind of see that where like they were all like real skeptical of her and her army at first and all that. Yeah. I think the tension that Sansa's making is kind of like not really needed almost because it's like you still don't trust her, but she just sacrificed her like half her army basically.
Sansa is the worst.
Defend you. Yeah, she's just like a real pain in the.
She's such a pain. I feel like I'm the only one who screams this like every time. I hate Sansa. Always have.
No, I hate her now. I hate her.
You need to swear it. And she's like, I swear it. And he tells her, and
the very next
immediately tells Tyrion 5 minutes later.
It's and that's another thing that made me mad was that they're like, oh, well, Bran's like, John, okay, you can tell him if you want. And then he does, but then you don't see the reaction to them being told that he's a fucking Stark and a Targaryen. And it's like, dude, why wouldn't you show that to me? I want to see the reaction where Arya's like, oh, shit. And Sansa's like, oh, shit. Like, you have a better claim now. Like, all that. Like, why not show that?
Yeah, like I get there, there's time constraints. They got to cut some stuff out, but that's something you got to keep it.
Yeah, when you think about how long the party went and then like that scene, it's like you should have cut some of the party and you should have added that scene for the fans because that's a really big moment for every character involved in that scene, right?
Who knows? We might get a flashback.
We might.
We keep saying that
actually does anything.
We keep asking about these flashbacks and there's nothing's ever happened with these flashbacks.
I hope,
The Night King killed flashbacks.
Yeah,
him dying. We're allowed to have flashbacks.
I mean, we'll see. I hope they have a flashback. Maybe like after they beat Cersei, like they kind of flash back to like the conversation that they had as a group about him having a better claim. But I'm not gonna get my hopes up. So that was a scene that was kind of needed. And then, like you said, Sansa just fucking tells Tyrion the next scene, and it's like, holy shit! And you knew not keep your mouth shut. Oh, I knew it. The second, like, he's like, all right, I'll tell you guys. I was like, dude, you're fucked. Yeah, she's definitely gonna tell them.
Yeah,
Arya, fine, she won't say anything. Bran, he's fucking weird. He ain't gonna say shit. But Sansa immediately is gonna go tell someone, and she did.
I don't. Sansa, like, she sucks because I mean, like, if you look at her entire life up until now, she was born a power hungry slut. I mean, like, she was like all the Starks were sitting there shooting arrows, being nice, and she wasn't.
Yeah, she just wanted to marry into,
she wanted to be the queen.
Anything possible she'd marry into, as long as she could wear that stupid crown.
See, I'm kind of coming around on her.
Oh my god!
No, listen,
everybody coming around.
Hear me out.
Not, Doug.
Hear me out. So I never really liked her at all to begin with. Like I always thought she was kind of a pointless character, but now I think she's making she's making her case for the throne. I think, you know, because she's learned from Cersei. And as we said, we know that, you know, she always wanted to be the queen. So I think she's playing her cards right. You think about it, she has her own army now, the Lords of the Vale. Like she has her own army, you know, she has like she's just picked up all these little bits of information. And she's almost, now don't be wrong, she's not as bad as Cersei, but she's getting into that territory in terms of manipulating and playing the game and trying to get what she wants. Like that I respect about her.
But the people who are also like that in the show aren't stupid. Like Sansa's stupid.
She's the smartest person that Arya knows. She's the smartest person that Arya knows.
Well, Arya doesn't
I
know
don't buy that for a minute. Has she met Sam?
He just reads books. He just reads books. He's not smart. He just knows facts. That's not being smart. That's just being like a, you know, regurgitate facts. You know?
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see like where her character goes in the next, like, you know, the last 2 episodes. But I used to like her, and now I kind of like, she's always just like back talking John, right? And like always trying to undermine him. And it's like, okay, I get it. You don't like Dany. You don't like the fact that he bent the knee and all that. You want the North to be free, but like, she got fucking dragons, and like she has a pretty big army, and you kind of need her right now. So can you just shut up for like a couple of months?
She doesn't get that.
Yeah, and she just keeps opening her mouth to like make shit worse. And then she tells Tyrion, now Varys knows, and it's like, dude, and he just turns on Dany right away in that one scene.
Yeah.
Well, now that it's known as a fact that he is actually the heir, everybody will just have to pretend that she is the heir because that's what they've been fighting for the whole time, that she's their queen. But now that they're just like, well, Jon is actually like entitled to the throne. The war's almost over. Like, he is way better of a guy than you.
Yeah, especially now she's giving off Mad Queen vibes. You know,
she is totally Mad Queen. I'll get into that when I get to talk about once we get to the end. But
real quick, going back to Sansa, here's a little hot take. I think she's the one that tipped off Cersei about where Dany was going to be, so that Euron could ambush her. I think she sent a Raven because I don't know. Like again, like I think she's, you know, again, learning from Littlefinger, chaos is a ladder. If you take out one queen and then the other 2 are fighting, like who knows what happens, then you kind of climb your way up slowly. I'm telling you, don't underestimate her. I think she's up to some shit.
Yeah, she could be. Well, now that you mentioned that ambush, get into this real quick.
Please do.
So here's my thing. Reddit kind of blew up when this episode aired about this whole thing, right? And I guess some people like kind of put it to the side, and they're just like, well, you know, they don't have a lot of time, so they're kind of throwing some logic out the window to make up for that. And I get that, but there's like it as writers, there's ways that you need to get around that time constraint. And I feel like this is something they needed to get around. And you can do that by just adding a couple of scenes that fix it. And right now, the way it is, it's basically every good guy makes the dumbest fucking decisions tactically every time. They none of them know what they're doing right now. And that's kind of stupid because besides Jon, like Dany has Grey Worm. Grey Worm is a great tactician. He's the leader of the Unsullied. You know, his whole life is about war. I don't even think Dany's super awful at this either. I think Jon's an idiot, given every battle he's been in has been, you know, him almost dying in a disaster.
He has to get his ass saved by somebody all the time.
Yeah. But so you're telling me that this whole fleet just didn't send out scouts at all, right? You're just all bottled up together, not fucking looking, and then the dragons are up in the sky and none of you were looking. And my problem with this now is that you can say, well, Dragonstone is like their home base, like, you know, they just weren't thinking about that. In one of the scenes in Winterfell before they leave, we get reminded about Euron's fleet. We get reminded that he just brought the Golden Company back. So it's in your head that there's a fleet out there, and Dragonstone's not far from King's Landing. You really don't think that you should be careful when you're fucking going next to King's Landing. But no, they're not. They act stupid for the sake of pushing the plot forward more.
And that's exactly where the show went terrible, because it was, I thought it was all good up until this point. And from this point, I started texting you, Tone, screaming at you, saying, what are they doing? Like, what the fuck is this garbage? It made fucking sense. The dragon goes down, like everything you just said, Sirloins. That's exactly what happened. Now they just lost a fucking dragon. That sucks. I was screaming at Tones when they finally got there and they have what's her name, Mondelsson. I can't get Mondelsson from the Derby.
Missandei.
Yeah.
After they take her prison, after they attack him on the fleet, they just she just parks the dragon in the background, and she's only got like 5 people with her.
Yeah, I was
and they're
screaming
all
also.
aiming massive spears down on them. Why wouldn't you just kill them?
They're throwing like they're just throwing logic out the window now to try to like create tension, and it doesn't work when you're not doing it in a clever way.
I was sitting here just like, why wouldn't you just kill the dragon right now and just look at her and just be like, now you're just gonna have to fucking fight me army for army, you bitch.
Or kill all of them. Here's the thing, Cersei at this point, is unhinged. You really don't think she's gonna fire 12 fucking scorpion bows at all of them and just decimate them? She has 20,000 soldiers in King's Landing. I'm sure they have horses. The Unsullied didn't have horses. They could have murdered everyone right there and just ended the rebellion. Then you only have to deal with Jon. At that point, it just doesn't make sense how they're doing shit. I mean, Scorpion pulled. First of all, how the fuck does Euron hit 3 for 3, or how did they hit 3 for 3 on a flying dragon, really far away on a boat that's rocking? What? Then let's go even further. Why doesn't Dany just go above the fleet? Because the Scorpion bows can't point straight up. So go up and come down and dive bomb. Like there's just. And you don't have to do that scene. If you want to have a dragon, and then the reason they kill the dragon is because they want to show you that Cersei is a real threat, which I get. I totally get. But there's a different way to do that where you don't just throw like logic out the window and just make the viewer go, wait, what the fuck is happening?
You gotta follow up. Like if your dragon just gets shot down by one of those spears, you can't just proceed on the mission and show up to face Cersei one-on-one with your last dragon parked out back.
Yeah. Then they
literally parked 100 yards away. Like she said, Dracarius, the thing didn't hear her because she was so far.
It's just doesn't make sense. And then Euron blows up the whole fleet, right? But then you don't go finish them off, dude. They're like in the water swimming. Just go fucking get them. It can't be that difficult. Like you captured Missandei, you could have went and killed Grey Worm and all of them. It's just not what Game of Thrones was. Game of Thrones created a lot of tension and like twists and turns, but they kept everything like logical and in a way where it was clever. Now they're kind of just like, and the time travel thing I can get, like where it's like, okay, Dany went from south all the way north of the wall in like, 20 minutes. I get that. But you can't just throw everything out the window for the sake of tension and plot and to be unexpected.
And somebody left a Starbucks coffee cup on the set. I mean, they took 2 hours to make this. I think it's not because they're making it extra good. I think it's because they were fucking it up and had to go back and fix shit. And HBO was like, "What is this garbage?" And they had to like postpone. Like
some people are woke saying it was like a product placement. Yeah, because I mean, think about it. Everyone's talking about Starbucks right now.
Yeah, true. Yeah. The Google trend for Starbucks went up like a crazy amount the second this episode.
But it's like, do you really think they'd compromise like the show? Like, just throw like a Starbucks in there? Like, it's ridiculous. But I mean, kind of. I let you say your piece, Paul. And I'm not like I agree with a lot of your points. But in terms of like that battle, yeah, I mean, to have 3 direct hits right away, like that is a little ridiculous. They probably could have had, maybe the dragon gets hit once, and they fly around, and then they gets hit, kind of timing that a little bit. But as far as the whole, like them reloading too fast, or being able to shoot off of like a moving boat, like I get it's not like realistic, but I can overlook that.
I'm fine with the dragon dying the way that he did. That's fine. Yeah. I'm just pissed that she decided to park the dragon unsupervised 5 feet away from Cersei. The next scene. That's
my biggest gripe with the episode. I 100% agree. I was trying to like play devil's advocate. We were texting. I was trying to think of reasons why she would have just killed them all.
Yeah,
and I really couldn't come up with one.
This is it. If this is it, this sucks. Cersei wants to like toy with them because she wants to see Daenerys come through and become the very thing that she's against, which is like the evil bitch that Cersei is. And Cersei's like, see, you're the same as me. You took all these slaves, sacrificed them for your power, come through my town and kill millions of people in the city. And then you're going to sit on a throne of just regrets. That's where like maybe they're going to go with it. Fuck that.
The only thing I could think of is maybe she wants her to take the dragon to the city so that people can see like how much of a tyrant she is. So when she does win, maybe like they'll they'll like be thankful.
What if they
for
find
her.
out that she like let the dragon in the first place to show that point? Wouldn't they be happier if they found out about a dragon outside being a threat and she killed it right then and there? There was a threat. We killed it. We didn't let it go around for political purposes.
Yeah, no, I mean that's the whole reason why she let the whole town inside, like the castle gates or whatever. She wanted them, like she was saying, "Oh, for your protection," but it's really just like you have to go through like thousands of people to get to me
and become the very thing that she hates.
Right,
killing innocent people just to be on the throne and stuff. Like she doesn't want to kill innocent people, but still, just to have a face-to-face meeting like that with like none of your army and your dragon parked out back. They're just staring at it. Kill the dragon and look right at her and just be like, game on.
Yeah. And people compared that conversation to like when the bad guy in a movie just like gives his whole like speech while he's like holding the gun at the good guy, you know,
like why I did it.
Yeah, exactly.
It's just a sick game. Xerxes is not that. Xerxes is the most savage bitch in TV history. She would never have done that.
She blew up half the city just to take out like 5 people.
Yeah. And now she wants to teach lessons.
Yeah,
like, I want to show you what you really are. Like she's not that person.
Listen, like I said, that was by far my biggest gripe with the episode, and I can't defend it. You know, I can't defend it. Like I understand, like if she kills her right there, then there's really there's no show.
Yeah,
You know, I guess you still have John, but it's like,
but there's so many ways like around. You just don't have to have Danny there, but they want Danny there because they want her there to see Missandei get killed and then push this like Mad Queen plot.
Yeah,
and I get that, but it's like I don't know. I think it's just you expect better writing from Game of Thrones, and maybe I put too much faith in the 2 writers to like keep up that quality after they went off the books.
I just thought of something,
but you know,
I just thought of something really genius of why maybe Cersei didn't kill the dragon on spot. Jon can ride dragons. Maybe Sansa did send the Raven, telling them their exact location. And maybe they have plans to kill Daenerys and then give the dragon to Jon, and Jon will use it for the good. Because now we're friends with the Lannisters, Tyrion and Jaime, because they were good guys in the Battle of Winterfell. Jon doesn't want the throne.
I see where you're going, but I don't think Cersei wants friends. I don't think she wants. Like, she just wants everybody that like ever opposed her dead.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
I'm just trying to. I mean, like, why else would you just put it right there?
You're trying to like figure out a reason as to why the scene went down the way it did.
And there really is.
There really isn't a reason for it. And
I'm not used to this.
It really sucks when Game of Thrones has been like really good. I mean, even George R.R. Martin, like in an interview, was just like, "Yeah, I really don't agree with like I don't even watch. He doesn't watch the show.
Yeah,
he literally came out and was like, I don't watch it.
Yeah,
he's not really happy with some of the stuff they were doing, and I
heard he really didn't help at all. If it's like last season.
Yeah, that's what I heard too. I heard they had like a couple hour meeting at his house, and like they kind of had differences on how the show was going to go, and then that was really it. He just wasn't involved anymore.
So the show sucks because they couldn't get a contract down. Like he would have did it. He would have told them everything if they paid him more, I bet. But it's like I think we talked last time. Like it's in his best interest not to give them any information, let it bomb, and then he finishes the books, and then everybody reads his books for like what it was supposed to be.
Yeah.
I think I was saying to Tom, I wouldn't be surprised if like the books just have a completely different ending.
Yeah, why wouldn't he do that?
Like let's say, you know, I don't know, just throwing this out there, like Daenerys wins in the show, like he'll have like Jon or Cersei or Sansa win the books.
George R. R. Martin's is doing his own Game of Thrones in real life. Like he's just completely sabotaging HBO. Like he's just gonna tell them lies and then write the books, and it's totally opposite. And he's like, mine's better, I win.
Yeah, I mean, I saw a meme on Reddit where it was just like, you know, have HBO make a show, test your ending, see it blow up, just make a different ending. Like, you know, he's just he's doing some research basically.
No, Tones and I figured we have a theory on George R. R. Martin. Since it's like the glory days right now of step parent porn, I think like based on the incest like quality of that, I think George R. R. Martin, whenever he sits down to write a book, let me just like get over to Pornhub for a couple of minutes, just for 10 minutes. And then I'll get started.
About Jon and Danny, and just like looking at his computer on the side, he's just like getting all boned up. He's like,
let me take like a 10
hold on. I gotta clear my head first.
He runs through the entire he runs through 83 pages on Pornhub of just like stepmom porn, and he's just loving it. And then he just gets nothing done. Nothing gets written. Like, this is all his fault. It's not HBO's fault. He
It
had like
takes forever.
30 years to write these fucking books.
Yeah. Well, I think I was saying to you, Tom. I think he's writing both of them like at the same time. Like I think he like instead of writing like the fifth book and then like finishing that and then starting from scratch for the next book, I think he's like writing the whole story, like at least like an outline version, and then he's going to go back and flesh it out. Like because I guess he wants it to be continuous. I don't know. I don't know if he's going to be able to do it.
It's gonna be a pain in the ass to read. Like I'm not looking forward to that at all.
Yeah. But
picking up a book is the worst.
Getting back to the Thrones writers though, like was it DB Weiss and Bennett Benioff or whatever the fuck?
Yeah, D&D.
Yeah, they're the better D&Ds. Oh, D&B, Dave and Buster's. I was thinking of, but they're writing for the Star Wars movies now, right?
Yeah, I heard that they were hired to write the next trilogy. So the next 3.
Okay, so
people are flipping out about that now too.
Right. Well,
is this the shit we're gonna see in Star Wars?
I was saying to Tom, I was like, it's a classic case of like an athlete like getting a huge contract and just like mailing it in afterwards. Like they got this big deal about all the Star Wars movies. Like, yo, we made it. We don't need to do anything.
I mean, like honestly, LeBron James. LeBron's got the barbershop. He's got Space Jam. Like he goes to the Lakers. He's like, I'm just gonna be Hollywood now.
I was thinking about it. Jacoby Ellsbury, but yeah, along the same lines.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if that's kind of like what it's at. Because like we talked about it right after that episode about how much money HBO probably makes, and our friend was just like, nah, they're not making that much money. And me and Tony were like, dude, they're making a lot of money. Like if you look at the merchandise pricing and shit like that, like they're making a lot of money on this. And I feel like they could have done more episodes in the seasons, but they want to finish it.
Every episode that they put out probably has the same or better ratings than Game 7 of the World Series. Not even just this season, probably like the last few. It's just like everybody shuts down to watch. I remember that's what it was like with The Sopranos. Like it was just everybody shut down and it was Sopranos time.
Yeah. Well, and even like the last couple months leading up to this, like everybody I know that watched Game of Thrones went back on HBO Go and rewatched it.
Yeah.
Like just the amount of eyes on there. And I knew people that went out and bought like HBO Now just to fucking watch that shit.
Yeah. Yeah. They're definitely making money. They wouldn't spend $96 million on a season if they were only going to make $2 million profit. You know what I'm saying? Like they're making a lot of money off the show.
George was probably being a really difficult negotiator. He's probably sitting at the table with his stupid little hat, just be like, I want fucking 30% of everything. So I wrote it. It's my book. I want 30% just seems very fair to me. Like, no, George. We'll offer you 11. He's probably like, fuck you. Here's the ending. Fucking Jon Snow he sits on the throne. That's it. That's the ending. And then he walks away.
Everyone dies and Jon's the one.
Jon Snow wins. Bye. Piece of shit. But I don't know where the show's going. Do we have? You want to do some predictions? I guess of where we're going to go now.
Well, real quick, I do want to say, we said our piece about the negative parts of the episode, but besides those, I did enjoy the episode. I thought like we finally got back to kind of a lot of the subtle, politicking and playing games and stuff. Like even just that whole scene at the party, watching Danny's reaction to like John being celebrated, and you see Varys in the background like scheming, and just like everyone's kind of shooting each other looks.
The Hound, forgot to mention how great the Hound was in this episode.
Yeah, the Hound. It's like when I finish my drink, and he grabs a giant pitcher of fucking wine.
This is my drink.
How about Bronn? We didn't talk about Bronn.
True.
Oh yeah.
So
I forgot about that scene completely.
So I think we called it. I think we nailed what Bronn was going to do for the most part.
Yeah. I didn't think he was going to just come up and kill him right away. I mean, he's always playing his chances, playing his odds, playing both sides.
Can you match this offer? And then they have to give him what's the castle that they offered him? You remember?
Highgarden, where the Tyrells used to be.
Highgarden. That sounds nice. I have to look it up later.
It's a nice castle.
What part? Have you ever been to Universal Studios?
A while ago.
Oh, all right, never mind. I was gonna ask which hotel it would be. Like, there's the Hard Rock Cafe Hotel. There's a couple other ones.
Well, Highgarden, the Reach, like that whole area is like the breadbasket of Westeros. So that's like where all the food comes from. So it's a very profitable region.
Sounds nice.
Yeah, it's like the Nebraska
Nebraska. I wasn't thinking of Nebraska.
Well, I mean, I'm just thinking in terms of like food, like all the food that comes out. Like they have all the corn in Nebraska. You know, it's like it's like Nebraska mixed like South Carolina.
If you really didn't sell me on wine,
I was thinking of like Augusta. Like I was thinking of the Masters, like a beautiful place in Nebraska.
It's like Nebraska, like mixed
Desert
with,
Plains.
with like South Carolina or Georgia or something. Like it's like a nice area, but it's like where all the food and shit comes from. Because remember, like when they went to go kill the old lady, Olenna Tyrell, and they came back with like just the wagons of gold.
Yeah.
When Danny first attacked with the dragons. But
yeah.
Yeah,
no,
so
I don't. I have to actually. I consumed a lot in one period of time.
You
There's a lot of things that I forget.
It was the first battle that they had in last season, where like the Dothraki came in and then dragons and Jaime tried to kill her, but like they had just wagons filled with gold.
Gotcha.
That they brought in. But anyway, but yeah, so he's trying to get Highgarden.
He's owed Highgarden.
He's owed Highgarden. He punched Tyrion right in the mouth, right in the nose. That was a funny line. So you broke my nose. He's like, no, I haven't. I've been breaking noses since I was smaller than you.
Yeah.
Maybe Jaime kills Bronn. A student kills the teacher. Right?
Maybe. Well, he has one hand because remember he tried to stand up. He's like, not even on your best day could you fucking take me.
Yeah, and Jaime really hasn't gotten too much practice in at all. Like I thought when that happened that he would just be back eventually, just like the same Kingslayer, as he was. But he's still like as very awful with that hand as possible. Listen, he couldn't even take off WNBA Knight's bosoms. Take off the bra.
I saw a meme. Like, how come he doesn't just make a hand with a knife attached to it and fight with that? Because he's right-handed.
You gotta be careful, like at all times.
Well, no, you like when you're going into battle, you like pop it on. It's like it's like how pirates have like one time they have the hook, they have the hook they go on, or they just like I don't know, they get different things. But yeah, you have a little bag with a bunch of hands. Like you have one that's like if you got to jerk off, it's got like a little circle in there, and then you got like
I think his hand is made of like great material, so by
gold.
His father, gold. Yeah, so like I mean, like you're gonna just disrespect your father and just wear something else, like.
No, well, he can make them all out of gold. I mean, if you really wanted to.
I'm pretty sure that's rare gold.
Well, all gold's rare. They were saying for the Battle of Winterfell, how come he doesn't just make like a dragon glass hand and just like go around pimp smacking everybody?
People always have these crazy ideas. Listen, maybe it wasn't possible. Maybe they couldn't do it with dragon glass.
Or I don't know. At least make like some kind of sharp edge, like for like a hand. Like it doesn't have to be like a full on sword. You just gotta have like a jagged edge. You just go around. I don't know.
All right, well,
sidetracked.
Let's move on. So, the trailer for next week on Thrones, I think pretty much gave away spoiler, like a huge one. They showed who's the main guy leading the Golden Company. What's his name?
Homeless Harry Strickland.
That's Homeless Harry Strickland. I thought it was a Greyjoy.
No, he's not leading them. He just has the fleet.
Well, whoever he is, the Greyjoy guy.
Okay.
With Cersei. Like the opening scene is him looking up at the sky on the boats and like the shadow of the dragons over him. And he's just got like this terrified look on his face where he's just like, oh, fuck. And it looks like they're about to get demolished by the dragon.
See, I didn't even watch the trailer.
Yeah, when you watch it, look for that. He's got this face on where he's just like, shit.
It's like,
unprepared.
It's on the other end of the boat or something. He's just like, I don't know. I mean,
he gets killed right away.
And she's pissed. I mean, Danny's pissed over getting her gal getting beheaded and tossed off like it was Apocalypto.
She lost her dragon. She lost her bestie. She lost half her army.
Sounds like a medieval Bruce Springsteen song. I lost my money and I lost my wife. I lost my dragon. She lost a lot. And she lost the respect of the people. And she knows it. She knows that if people know about Jon, they're going to hate her.
Yeah.
A lot of stress.
And who knows? I mean, now with Varys, I mean, he's always scheming. And like you said, I mean, he's technically the rightful heir and probably the better leader.
Varys straight up told Tyrion in the Chamber of Secrets, wherever the hell they were. It's just like, dude, I'm all about Jon Snow. Like, she's a loose cannon. I'm concerned about her mood. It's our job to think about her mood or whatever. And he sees Mad King because he was around for Mad King.
Yeah.
He knows Mad King.
Well, that's why there'll never be a woman president, is because just like the mood swings of
Mad King.
Yeah, have her period and just like launch dragons on everybody.
You know what? Bomb them. I've had it with today.
Been bleeding for 3 days. Had enough of this shit.
I can't get pregnant. But Also, I don't think it's gonna happen, but it's very possible Daenerys is gonna kill Jon Snow. How about that theory?
I've been saying that all fucking season.
She knows that if the people know about Jon Snow's rightful whatever position to the throne, then she's got to kill him.
I think Danny kills Jon.
Then Arya's not going to be too happy about that.
Well, Arya's not going to be happy with that, but Sansa
can't do anything because she's stupid. She's a dumb little girl.
Going to team up with Cersei somehow to take out Danny, and then Sansa's going to take out Cersei somehow.
And then Sansa and Cersei remain on the throne.
No, Sansa's taking out Cersei, or maybe they just get into, well, not like her personally, but like she'll do something. Maybe send Arya after, or maybe they just like, Game of Thrones is a pretty progressive show. Maybe they just like dyke it out on the throne.
I think we should work together and fight climate change. Cersei, you have a big army, like fight it together by stop using fossil fuels on your boats.
Yeah, I don't know. It's going to be, there's definitely going to be a battle. According to Emilia Clarke, this is the biggest episode. And usually the second to last episode of the seasons are the biggest episodes.
Yeah.
I just hope
we have probably the most pissed off Daenerys could possibly be riding around a dragon.
Yeah, for sure. I'm just hoping that we don't have like a corny ass ending to like the series. Like, remember like the end of The Wire, where it just shows like everyone kind of like where they ended up being, like it's just like a montage. Like I hope it's not something
that was a tough show to end.
Yeah, no, I'm not saying it was bad for that, but like for this show, like I need tears, I need blood, I need guts, I need betrayal, I need backstabbing, I would like to find out what the fuck Bran is. That would be nice. Yeah, but I don't think I think we're done. If we don't see Bran again, I wouldn't be surprised.
He's just going to be sitting. He's in all these scenes. He just sits in the back.
Yeah.
Is that what all he's going to be now? Collecting paychecks, sitting down?
He's just a paperweight.
You're a Stark, so we'll let you stay.
Yeah. Otherwise, we just roll you off a cliff.
Yeah. But definitely go watch the trailer after this and look for that scene where they're about to get demolished by dragons. So,
yeah.
What do we think? We think she's just going to go to town and just demolish King's Landing, and you think she's going to lose her dragon?
I think so. I think Cersei dies next episode, or at least gets beaten next episode.
I had her dying in the Battle of Winterfell, so I'm out on that pool.
And I think Dany's gonna burn King's Landing. I think she's gonna demolish it.
Just kill everybody.
Yeah, she's gonna like go crazy with Drogon, and a lot of people are gonna die. And I think Cersei's gonna get beaten, and then everyone's gonna start to kind of realize that,
hey, it's Jon's throne.
Everyone's gonna kind of be like, okay, well, she's kind of fucking crazy. She just killed all these people. Like, Jon's the rightful heir. And then I think Jon kills. Well, not this episode. So, but I think Cersei gets beaten, and then everyone kind of starting to like be like, Jon really is the best person for this because Dany's crazy.
They like sit around a round table like towards the end after they kill Cersei, and they have to figure out the throne. They have a vote. And it's like, if you want Snow, say aye, like they do in the fucking the Night's Watch.
Yeah.
And then they all vote for Jon. And then she's just like, fuck you. And then
burns everyone there.
But then she's pregnant, so she has one person to rule. She pops out a baby, rules it. Then,
as most mothers do,
we repopulate.
With the baby?
She fucks pretty much her own family.
I guess it's yeah.
Anyway, so that's all I got. I mean, should we give it sticks of dynamite? I give it a 6.9. It's low for Thrones, very low. I enjoyed it like you did, Tones, all the way up until she parked the dragon.
Yeah,
that was inexcusable unless it makes sense, which I doubt they can make it make sense. That's just a fucking terrible blunder.
Although, as much as I hated that scene, I thought, like, Missandei for her last words saying Dracarys, like, burn this shit to the ground, fuck it, fuck them. Like, I thought that was pretty cool.
Oh, yeah. I thought Daenerys said that.
No, that was Missandei. Like, she said, do you have any last words? And she just goes like, Dracarys, like, burn it all, just fucking get them.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, so this rating system's at 100? Is that what
10? 10.
At 10?
Yeah.
Okay.
But we use decimal, so it's basically 100.
Okay.
6 dynamite.
Yeah, 6 dynamite.
I mean, if I had to rate it, I'd probably give it a 5.5.
5.5.
I think at this point it's kind of becoming unacceptable on some of the shit that they're throwing in here at the last second for scenes. I'm harsh, man. I mean, like I'm a pretty big critic of Game of Thrones. Like because the writing has been so good for so long, and clearly they're not up to the task. And I'm worried, really worried that they're gonna fuck the ending.
I think the writers of the show have like the drama and stuff and all the like character relationship stuff's like down fine. I think like we talked about, the party was great. The Hound and Arya getting back together. They're really good at that stuff. I'm always entertained and just sitting there loving the show. But then like with the battle, they're not tacticianists, or like they just don't
They're
know.
just lazy. That's the problem.
Yeah.
They're just lazy. They don't want to try to come up with like clever ways for stuff. And that's fine. I get it. There's not enough episodes at this point. So I'm kind of like in that like acceptance stage where I'm just like, okay, this is what it is.
They're just
But
like after they write the good stuff that they know how to write about, then they're just like, all right, next scene, we're gonna have Greyjoy come and kill the dragon immediately over
just spear. And it's like, okay. I mean, and the other scene with Cersei that she didn't kill them, it's kind of just like doesn't make any fucking sense. So I'm gonna be pretty harsh with the rating on the episode for that.
Yeah, I mean, it's just overall disappointing because, like, it's there, like the potential for it is there. Is they just it feels like it's rushed, even though they had an extra year to do it, which is unacceptable for a 6-episode season.
Inexcusable.
It's unacceptable.
There's so many loose ends just not tied together. It's like, like you can't forget shit. You can't just like accidentally forget the dragon in the background of this scene. Like, why is the dragon here?
That's what I'm saying. They did, like, you just can't really explain that scene. And actually, see, another thing is that they're stupid for trying to like do that behind the scenes thing right after the episode that they do, because they like asked the writer, they were like, hey, so why did Dany like not think about Euron? And they were like, well, she kind of forgot about him. She kind of forgot that she was at war with him also. What the fuck, dude? You just told me a scene ago that he just showed up with 20,000 soldiers. What do you mean forgot? How'd she forget?
She was just thinking about Cersei. Like,
it's just shit like that. That's just like, just stop talking. Just stop talking.
Thinking about Jon Snow and that dick.
Yeah, I wonder get the fuck before we left, and
maybe we could tie it back to when Sansa tells Dany we should postpone because the men are tired, and then she's like, "You just want me to postpone?" And then they go with the plan anyway, and they run into an ambush. Maybe that was their like point, was to show Sansa was right.
Yeah, I just feel like it's kind of lazy in execution, you know.
Yeah,
could have been better.
It was a bad attempt to try to push Sansa to being smart. Maybe.
Yeah,
it's hard to make her look smart.
She's just a bitch.
Yeah. She's the worst.
But my rating, I'm gonna give it a 7.5. Which again is low for a Thrones episode in general. But I did like all the politicking, the party, the scheming, the back channeling.
Because that was like Game of Thrones, right? That was
right.
Like
that's Game of Thrones. Getting back to this was the first time in a couple of seasons that we've actually been able to do that, because everything, you know, especially the last half of last season and the first half of this season has just been walkers. Yeah. Which I didn't hate. I didn't hate it, you know, but like the reason why I fell in love with Game of Thrones was all the other stuff. Because like I was thinking about this comparison in my head. Like if I wanted to watch a zombie show, I'd watch Walking Dead. You know, like think about Walking Dead if like you only saw the zombies like once in the first 2 seasons, and then maybe once a season after that. Like it wouldn't be, you know, that's what I'm saying. Like, so it's not a zombie show; it's like a political show almost. You know, like backstabbing. Right. Like that's why I fell in love with the show.
Yeah,
that stuff. So I'm glad to see that back. Hopefully we see more of that. You know, I don't know what to say, man.
I think it was just overwhelming disappointment with what the walkers actually were, because there were so many crazy theories where like Ned's gonna come back as a walker, we're gonna see Stannis as a walker, we don't know what the walkers are. Fucking, if you bet it at Vegas, you probably got 3-1 odds that you'd see Hodor as a walker.
Oh yeah,
like, it was automatic that he was gonna be a walker and like coming up in the battle, and like
just give me a fucking Hodor, man. Like how hard is that to like bring him back for like 10 seconds of one episode and just paint his eyes blue? You know,
I think they read all the predictions online and just be like, let's make sure it's none of these. That way we surprise them. And like some of the ones we're actually really good at there, and they should have maybe taken note.
Yeah, I mean they surprised us. They, you know, like they definitely didn't make it what we thought it would be.
Yeah, sure. I mean, you know, not to like prolong this, you know, episode or whatever, and talk about the previous episode, but again, like the White Walker thing, right? Is like, you know, you kind of focused on that for half a season, and then first half of this season. You think that they would explain more, but I think they did on. I think they did it on purpose, because they're doing a prequel now too for the first Long Night. which is going to be it has to have walkers everywhere in that, right? I feel like they copped down. They were like, listen, like we're not going to do anything here because we're going to do it in the prequel instead, and
that's disappointing.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
You got to give us something now. You can't just give us absolutely nothing,
Very disappointing. And, and again, with the Arya killing him, it's kind of out of left field. And I feel like they don't understand that there's like setup that happens for stuff. And it's just like, oh shit. No one expected that. And they're like, yeah, we did it because no one would expect her. I was like, oh, okay. So there's no significance for like the prophecies or the plot. It's just unexpected. So let's do it. And I feel like that's what we're getting now, and it kind of sucks, but it is what it is, right? Like it's nothing you can do about it.
Yeah, I mean, like it's just I feel like this whole time I'm just still waiting. Like one of these next 2 episodes is just going to tie it all back together, and then like when you watch it a second time all the way through, knowing the ending, like then it'll be better because then things will end up making sense when they get explained later. Because there are a lot of plot holes to account for right now that I'm terrified are not going to get filled, and it's just going to be shit. But either way, there better be somebody on the throne. Excuse me, at the end of the show.
We'll see. Every episode has so much potential too. Like last episode, I liked a lot of parts of last episode.
I enjoyed the hell out of it. I was sitting there smiling when they were partying. Like, this is great.
Yeah, that was no fun.
Danger. Everybody's just having a good time, and so am I.
That's what I'm saying. There was a lot, but there was a few glaring problems with it. Yeah. That, like, if they just even thought about it for a second, they would be like, "Well, we can't do this."
Screaming at my TV tones, I was just, "What is the dragon doing here? Why is it parked over there with 8 people over here? Just shoot the dragon. The war is over. Why is this happening?" I've never been upset with Thrones before. Like people get mad about it on Twitter and stuff. This is the first time I was yelling. Texting people like they've ruined the show. Like I'm the show is ruined. It's awful. I can't stand it. Got a chance to like reflect and breathe, and like it's a fine episode. There's plenty of time to like make things make sense. Hopefully, But I don't have much faith in these people right show right now. I'm putting Starbucks coffee in there for fucking marketing dollars. You kidding me?
I mean, listen, if they did that on purpose, they could have easily afforded another episode.
Like when Thor was in an episode, it was fine because it was a great episode. You barely noticed him. Like Starbucks coffee, you did not notice, but it was not that great of an episode. A lot of holes, and then it's like, oh look, and somebody left a Starbucks coffee on the table. What are these people doing?
It's just such like a perfect like analogy of just like them,
the writers,
just writing the show. Like, oh yeah, whatever, like
they won't see it.
They won't notice.
I'll get it in a minute. Let's film this scene. I gotta go home. Fucking
Well, so we'll see what they do in the last 2 episodes.
Yeah, but all right, we'll get back together next Tuesday or whenever we can, and hopefully the next episode that we talk about is going to be really good. And apparently it is, from the mouth of Khaleesi herself, the actress. She said it was get a big TV. So
the biggest TV you can, I believe, for the words. Maybe she's being paid off by TV companies.
Oh, maybe.
I can't trust anybody.
It's like for the Super Bowl, they always have the commercials, people going out buying new TVs just for the Super Bowl, which I always thought was ridiculous. But I guess just go buy new TV for Thrones.
Just before we ended, I don't know why it popped in my head, but remember like the 50s and 60s when they had like the TV stores and they would have.
I don't remember the 50s and 60s.
Just in the movies when they had the new TV stacked and they're all on and people just outside the store and watch it. Imagine like we still had that and they would do it with Thrones and you drive by and just see like these families like watching this hardcore like Thrones sex scenes and violence and just standing out in the cold watching. But anyway, all right. Let's get out of here. Hopefully Thrones kicks ass next week. Maybe it will, maybe it won't, but
we'll see.
We'll see. All right. Later, Bomb Squad.